Welcome everyone to Popcorn and Parables. My name is Joey.
I am the reigning, defending world heavyweight champion of popcorn and parables, Elias.
And and welcome to oh wait. You start whole intro. And we are two dudes who love Christ and have a passion for film. Now, today what we're going to be doing is our reviews for the month of September. This is going to be very similar to the review that we did for July and August, which was our first video. Same concept, same structure. We're just going to be going over the movies that we saw in the month of September. Not every movie, because then we would be here for like 10 hours, and that's just way too much.
Facts.
And also, there's a lot of movies that we don't even really want to see. But anyway, we're going to be going over the movies that we watched in September. And we have about 4 movies to review. It's going to be a good time. We got some fun, interesting movies that we got ready to review. All right. So, the month of September. The first movie that we're going to be reviewing today is The Conjuring Last Rites. So, again, the same way like we did it for July and August, we're going to go over a few facts and tidbits from some of the movies, and then we'll get into our review. So, The Conjuring Last Rites released on September 5th of 2025. The budget for this film was $55 million. The gross for this film for US and Canada is $161 million. And global is $435 million for The Conjuring. This is going to be the most gross film that we have today in this review.
You're
Basically,
lying.
that no, I'm dead serious. I'm also surprised by that this movie has over $430 million. I can't believe I also contributed to that. That's crazy. Anyway, if I keep talking about it, I'm going to keep regretting it. So yeah, highest grossing film that we have so far in this review. Now next, we're going to get into the Rotten Tomatoes for this movie. So the tomato meter for Rotten Tomatoes was at 59%. Okay. The popcorn meter was at 78%. So the audience liked this movie a little bit more than the critics. And this, you know what? I think that's a little justified in the critics area. I think the critics got this one right. But I'll leave that for my review. So Elias, what did you think about The Conjuring Last Rites?
Okay, The Conjuring Last Rites. Where do I begin with this film? It's the final installment that they say, but then there's a show coming out, but whatever. It's supposed to be supposedly at the time was the final installment of this franchise.
Freaking clickbait, bro.
Straight, this franchise has like 9 films, I believe. Conjurings. There's a couple of side ones like the Annabelle movies, which are pretty good. The Nun ones are really good.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a known franchise, and I remember when the first one came out that like it was just so good, and I remember how how much of an impact it was. A lot of people were scared of this film. So this is the final one. So how does everything conclude? Basically, this is the Conjuring's end game. How does everything conclude? Okay, so here's my gripe with this film. So I remember when I was going to watch this, a lot of people were like, "Oh no, don't watch The Conjuring. It's scary," or "Oh, this could happen and that could happen." I saw it, right? Whenever I buy my tickets, when I go by myself. So guys, when I buy tickets and I go by myself to go see films, I like to sit like dead right in the front, not where the front row is, and not where the stairs are, but like right in front of that wall.
Yeah.
Just because like right there front row, so I like to watch things like this. So be like, "Oh, you're crazy for doing that," but I like watching films like that.
Yeah.
So The Conjuring itself, for the last film, it was okay. One of my gripes with this film is that you may not believe me, but like this film is too family friendly.
No, I absolutely agree with you.
It's a very family friendly film.
Yeah.
And here's what I mean. Because a lot of the times in this film, yes, like, we spend more of the time with, like, the family and, like, again, our two characters and the daughter that's where most of the time is spent. And honestly, the story is more about them, to be honest. Like the whole plot of it is that, oh hey, our daughter is bringing this boyfriend, her boyfriend, for the dad's being the boyfriend for the first time. He wants to marry her, and then during all this, like the big story is just that the girl, the daughter, has this same ability of able to just kind of feel the premonition of ghosts and things around her, but they kind of tell her that, oh, like the mom teaches her how to kind of control it and don't lose it, like don't basically like frozen lore,
Right.
like conceal, don't feel type of thing, like very frozen lore. And then and then after that, like, and during all that, they also stopped doing the whole ghost, like stopping ghost stuff.
Right.
And then suddenly, like, there's a house that they get like haunted by this mirror and stuff. And honestly, the only time I feel like the movie is good whenever we focus on the ghosts in this house, like in with that family, because like, yeah, like there's so many things that, because it goes back and forth between that family and their what they're up to, and then the family actually being attacked by the ghosts. And a lot of the times, like I'm watching the family, like oh, they're all like playing ping pong in this guy's house, and yeah, these are nice moments. But I'm like, bro, like when are we gonna go back to the ghosts? Like I want to see the ghosts. When are the spooky stuff gonna happen? So when it goes to the other family that's actually being hit with the paranoia, I mean, yeah, a lot of the ghost stuff is very predictable. The only time I was watching this film and I was like, oh, like what's gonna happen? Like I got was the scene where the girl thought she saw the ghost like in the TV, and again, it's like an old,
Right.
yeah, it's an old
That was
VHS
really good.
tape, and
Yeah.
like she's just recording, going back and forth, like
Right.
trying to see it, and I'm just there the whole time, like, oh my god, when is this thing gonna pop up? When is a spooky thing gonna pop up?
Yeah.
It doesn't, and then you get this image of like after she's like keep looking, you look up, and there's a face that you think there's a ghost,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, finally, no, nothing happens. Then the ghost eventually appears, but like that's the only time I felt any sort of jump scare.
Yeah.
But that's it after that, because then it focuses on just like the main family, just hey, like let's go help. We need to help these people, and they're like, oh, I don't know, we retired from the game, and this and this, and they eventually go help out, and then at the end, like literally, it concludes with just the family just like all together, like away ghosts and this and this. So like yeah, like it didn't feel like it doesn't really feel like a scary film.
Yeah.
And then it literally concludes with the wedding, the daughter's wedding, and then like for some reason everybody they've helped is at the wedding, and it's weird because like if I let's say if I have a daughter and she gets married, like I'm not gonna invite everybody I've helped out at the at work at the jewelry store that I work at.
Like demon hunting. Oh, for you, yeah, the jewelry
Like,
store.
everybody that I've helped, go ahead, come to the wedding and stuff. So yeah, like it's for the fine. I think if this was like movie number 8 or something, maybe I would have been a little bit nicer to it. But it's the fact that this is how we're concluding this
Yeah.
franchise, and it's not even that. Like we don't even get a big evil like a final boss ghost. It's like old lady ghost, farmer ghost, and another old lady ghost.
And a mirror.
And a mirror. Like we don't get anything from that. So like yeah, it's not for the final franchise. Like it's not. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. What about you? What you think of it?
Yeah, I think I share a lot of the same sentiments and things that you had about this movie. I did enjoy some parts of it, but there were, to kind of like also emanate what Elias was talking about. When you think of the finale for The Conjuring, like right, like in my head, I'm thinking like what he was saying, like final boss, like not to be like weird or anything, but I thought that like they were gonna get the literal devil to fight,
Right?
like to fight them, like that's what I'm thinking. Like they've gone way worse in the past, so I'm like, Oh, so they're gonna get like some like ultra ranking high level demon to go like fight like this family. So that's like the kind of like the expectation that I had, and especially with the trailers that they had pumping out, I was so excited to watch it because I'm like, yo, this looks like it's gonna be like the best Conjuring film ever as the finale. And then you go into it, you watch it. Like I mentioned, there were some really good elements of it. I thought that there were some cool scenes. There were some really cool shot parts of the movie, like the way that they filmed certain aspects of it. I think for me, so you mentioned how the scariest part for you was the TV. For me, the scariest part was that part where she's trying on the dress and she's in like that room full of like mirrors surrounding her, and then that part where like that old lady is like messing with her, and then like she starts like coming up and whatever. And she's like, ah, and then like the face of the old lady,
She
I
comes
just
out the
like,
dress like,
she's like, "Hee." Like bro, like I cringed. I was like, ugh, like I felt so like uncomfortable by that, and I think that was the point of the scene. So I'm like, oh well, good job. Like you did a successful jump scare right there. So props to you guys, but yeah, man, I shared the same sentiments of Elias. This kind of felt a little too family friendly. There were a lot of like scenes, like that scene where like he proposed in front of the parents. I'm like, how is this scary? It's not. And then at the end, like the wedding portion, I'm like, okay, please tell me that something bad's gonna happen at the end, and nothing. Like it ends on a good note, and for me that was so confusing. Like I'm just
yeah,
like,
like it ends like because she's like, oh, I had a vision. We have grandkids. We get to teach people. Our kids are fine,
yeah,
and everything is okay. And it's even like it concludes with them just riding a bike and just having these like beautiful moments together. And it's like again, like I don't want this in my Conjuring.
yeah. And the movie ends, and you're just like, okay, happy ending.
Like nothing spooky.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, there were some really good jump scares in it, though. I won't take away some of the scary elements that it had, and something that I actually wrote in my review when I reviewed it in our Letterboxd accounts. If you guys want to go ahead and give us a follow, not sponsored Letterboxd, hit us up, let us know. But in my review that I had wrote for the movie, and so this is literally a quote from myself. I put, it's hard to find a good balance with a horror movie. And I'm pretty sure everyone can kind of like agree with what I'm going to say, right? Like you either end up sacrificing a great overall film for more scary aspects, or you end up sacrificing the scary aspects for a great overall film. And this movie landed in that first category. Like they wanted to make a good overall film, but they sacrificed a lot of scary elements of the movie where there could have been a lot more scary elements, and they chose instead to make it more like that family friendly thing. And I didn't really like that. That wasn't my cup of tea when it came to The Conjuring, because I was expecting more, and that's not what I got. But listen, at the complete end of the day, they went over their budget. Like they made money off the film, a lot more than I thought they were gonna make. So I guess this film is a quote unquote success. I think we could just go straight into the ratings. For me, I gave this movie a 3 out of 5. And my reasoning for that was just mostly that, like, even though I did have a lot of things that I didn't necessarily like that it didn't do, the things that it did do, I was like good with. Like I still felt like I sat there and I had a good time. I just maybe wanted a little bit more out of it. So because of that, 3 out of 5.
2.5 for me. And just looking at my letterbox, I wrote, literally, that's all I had to say was that all I had to say about this film was, is it crazy to say that the film is too family friendly?
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like for it being the final film, it's not like it doesn't live up to par. And again, it's too family friendly for me. There's too many nice scenes. There's a lot of scenes where like that are so much like, oh, this is so nice. Oh, this is so sweet. Oh, good for them. Look at the family. Oh, I'm so happy for her. But it's like, I don't want that in my Conjuring.
No.
I want to be scared. I want to be paranoid. I want to freak out. I want to go home and be afraid to go to sleep. Oh, no, I slept like a baby. I slept disappointed.
Yeah, like you walked out of the movie feeling good, and you're like, no, like that's not how I want to feel. Like, no,
Not in my ghost films.
not in my Conjuring.
But anyways, let's get to the second film.
Yeah. So 3 and 2.5. That makes the official Popcorn and Parables rating for The Conjuring a 5.5 out of 10. So this was a very mid movie for both of us.
Yes.
So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next movie. The next movie that we have is gonna be The Long Walk.
Yeah.
So, The Long Walk, if I can say something before we even get into it, was also very heavily anticipated. A lot of good trailers that came out of it, and this was very big on our radar for this month. This was one of the movies that like we made sure that we went to go see. So, The Long Walk released on September 12th of 2025. The budget for this film was $20 million, and the film gross in U.S. and Canada made 28 million, and globally 35 million. So they were still able to make more money than what they budgeted for. So again, props to the people who made The Long Walk. Now, the Rotten Tomato scores. The tomato meter for The Long Walk was 88%. Pretty good for the critics. And the popcorn meter, 85%. So on this one, the critics enjoyed this movie more than the audience, but I would still say that it's kind of around the same, since it's still in that 80th percentile. It's still in the same area, so I think that they both enjoyed it the same. So Elias, what do you think about The Long Walk?
So The Long Walk is this is actually my highest rated movie I've seen in September, and that's like all films I've seen. So this movie is based off, again, there's another Stephen King book that this is based off of. There's a couple of minor differences that this movie does that it does different in the book. So for example, in the book, it's 100 people, not 50.
Oh,
But
okay.
again, there's so many bodies, like it's gonna take a long time. Let's just cut it in half.
Yeah. Did you read the book, or did you
No,
kind of summarize it?
I just looked it up.
Ah.
This film, I think the strongest thing it has is its cast. And because, okay, so particularly, I believe his name is David Johnson. Him by himself gives such a great performance that it's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, that's the guy that played Peter McVries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he plays such an amazing role in this. And I think the movie's strongest thing is just all these characters that... Because, again, the plot of the film is just that USA is just kind of gone downhill. So every year they do this competition called the Long Walk, where one person from every state competes in this competition, where you keep walking until you are the last one standing. And there's rules to how... if you slow down, or that, but at the end of the day, if you don't finish, you just die. You die. And that's something I do love about this film. That it's weird, but like, if you notice when you watch this film, like, yeah, they're all there together, and what's nice about it is that you get these guys that they're all there for the same purpose. They all know that only one can win,
Right.
but they're all just enjoying each other's company and kind of working off each other is what the movie's really good at. Where you have these characters that they just kind of form these bonds. They form this friendship, but if you notice, none of them there's not really anybody that kind of tries to betray each other, nothing like that. They just know that, okay, at the end of the day, it's gonna be one of us, but we're not gonna do anything to sabotage the other guy or this guy. Like, and again, it's nice to look at, and it's sad because I guess you progress, like you see, like, okay, like, you know that they're all not gonna they're all gonna go out one at a time, and then the way then the ending was just so surprising. Like, I had a feeling, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, like the Pete character, I had a feeling from the beginning, I'm like, okay, this is what he's gonna do. He's gonna just, once it's down to the last two guys, that again the last two guys just formed this friendship from the beginning, and from the beginning, like Pete just helps his friend out, this guy out, the whole time. Like again, when he starts kind of falling asleep, he's carrying him. When he feel like he's losing his pace, he's there. Like there, he is trying to go. He's trying to go the distance with him, and they're just talking about just the French, like just the way they're talking to each other. They're just like, again, like you just a natural friendship where. How many times have you ever just kind of go somewhere, you see somebody you don't meet, and then you just instantly just click with them.
Yeah.
And then you just say, okay, like this is gonna be my guy while I'm here in this place. Like this is gonna be the guy I'm gonna gotta be kind of tight with.
Right.
And you see that as it progresses, just the friendship builds, and then you feel like he's gonna. You can tell that like, because of the way he's portrayed and how his heart is, that he's gonna be the one to sacrifice himself. But then no, the other guy does. Mm-hmm. And you get so shocked how it happens. You're like, bro, like. So I think that's why I enjoy this film so much. It's just because it's a simple concept, but it does it so well. And again, it's just the communication with all the characters is what makes it amazing. What about you? What do you think of this?
So for me, so kind of like what I was saying in the beginning, like this movie was very highly anticipated for me. The trailers that were coming out about it, I was really like hyped up and psyched to watch it because the concept was cool, and the fact that it was based off of a novel, I was like, okay, even more so for me. I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to go see this.
A novel that none of us read.
A novel that, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like, and the trailers just made it seem so like I need to go watch this, right? So after finally sitting down in the chair and viewing it, I definitely went into it with a certain expectation, and watching it was just a whole other story. This movie has a lot of like, how do I say this? This movie has a lot of like opposing things that are happening. Like this movie wasn't what I expected, but it also was at the same time, and it was hard to watch, but I also wanted to keep watching. And like, so for example, like that last part, like it was hard to watch, but I wanted to keep watching because the way that so for like he was explaining, like you have to keep walking, and if you stop then you die, right? So for me, like the way that they kind of like kill off the characters, like visually, it was very hard to watch because it was like, it was real. Like you would literally see them like point the gun at their head and just kablamo, and then their insides like you literally see it. And I'm like ask him, because we literally went to go watch it together. Like ask him how many times like they did that, how I jumped in my chair because it literally felt like I was watching somebody die like right in front of me, like as if they were visually right there. And for me, that was just, I was like, wow. Like every time someone died, it made me feel like I just lost a friend, or it made me feel like, wow, like I can't believe that just happened, because that's how invested like this movie got you, you know, like it really had a sense of like dragging you into it, you know. So that was really cool for me. So for me, if we can just go ahead and go into the ratings, for me, there was just something about it. I think it was just, this movie was not as well filmed as a lot of other films that I've already seen. Like, yes, was it like basic and good enough? Yes, but I feel like I've been so used to great cinematography that now when I see just basic cinematography, I'm like, they could have done better. So for me, it was just very basic shots, and I think the best part about it was how they literally showed like these people die. So that's probably the only thing that I took from it. I really love the ending too. The ending was awesome. So yeah, but for me, my rating on it is a 4 out of 5. And yeah, I think it was just missing like some advanced levels of cinematography that if it would have had it, it would have made it like just a little bit better. I feel like the story was good enough. everything else about it was good enough, but I feel like just in that area, it could have done a little bit better. I know it's very nitpicky, but like I think that's what it was that just didn't kind of put it over the edge to kind of give it that extra half star or that full 5. But yeah, that's me.
So this is gonna be the first time where I give a number higher than Joey, because I gave it a 4.5. It's not a 5-star film.
This is going to be a very rare occurrence, by the way.
It is
Very rare occurrence that I give a lower rating.
but it's not a 5-star film. But I think it's almost a really good film.
Yeah.
And again, I watching it, enjoying it, and again, I think just more the way it's acted is why I enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like cinematography wise, it's simple.
Mm-hmm.
They could have done more. I like the simplicity of it.
It was good.
But I get it, because like, yeah, most of the time, like, it does feel like you're just looking at the same thing
Yeah.
the whole time.
Can I? Sorry. Can I be honest? Like, it kind of felt like I was watching a movie from like 5 years ago, and not like from 2025.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it felt like this level of cinematography like was 5 years old instead of it like.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just so used to great cinematography now that I'm like, when I see it done basically, I'm like, I'm just spoiled. Sorry.
But yeah, like I like that it does that, and also I do like that it puts you in the perspective of like, I don't know what you thought, but like I was doing that where I'm like, how far would I last if I was in this?
I was thinking the same thing.
But first, to start off, though, one thing I would do different from these guys is, yeah, like if I'm not gonna be walking for a while, I'm not gonna go in a jacket, pants, and boots. Like, no, you're gonna see me comfy as like, comfy, like basketball shorts, running shoes, maybe like a tank top or something.
The fattest bit of foam on the bottom of the shoe so it's comfortable.
Facts.
Yes, absolutely. There's something that I actually really liked that they did for the pre-release of it, where they had like, for the early access, they had these people get on treadmills while they were watching the movie, and I thought that was so cool. Like in our area, I don't think they had it, but it was really cool to see that. I was like, and then I was thinking like, oh, I wonder if I were to go do that, how long would I last? I definitely think that I wouldn't have made it to the end of the movie. That's for sure. Just me.
I wouldn't have done it at all, to be honest with you.
Way too much walking.
Because again, I'm going to the movies. I'm not trying to go work out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go sit down and enjoy the movie.
Exactly.
I'm not there trying to worry about my temple.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go to the next one.
Yeah. So that brings the official Popcorn and Parables rating for The Long Walk to an 8.5 out of 10. So that was pretty good. It was pretty good. Pretty good for us. So the next film we're going to do is Him.
Him.
The movie title for this film is just awesome. It's so simplistic, yet it has so much aura. Like, Him. So cool. I would say, again, like, this was another movie that was kind of like, as well, like, highly anticipated for me because of the trailers that came out. I was like, this movie looks really good, and it's probably going to be good. So, Him, released on September 19th of 2025. The budget for this film was $27 million. The gross for this film in US and Canada, $20 million. And global, $21 million. So it only made $1 million outside of the US and Canada, which is pretty interesting.
No, it makes sense. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But it didn't go over budget, so unfortunately, they're not going to make any extra money. But whatever. Now, the Rotten Tomatoes for Him. These are going to be the lowest ratings out of every movie that we have so far.
Yes.
And I'm actually very surprised by that, to be honest. So, the tomato meter for Him, 31%.
You're surprised?
I am surprised.
You know, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Go ahead.
And the popcorn meter is 58%. A little surprising as well for me. But we'll talk about it. So, Elias, Him.
Okay, let's start with Him. So
Who's Him?
This is so let this film like when this film came out, like I remember seeing the trailers and everything. I'm like, oh, I was intrigued because this is how they get you. This is how they get you. Jordan Peele did not direct this, He produced it, but they put his name everywhere on this. So that's how you're like, ooh, let me go check it out.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
Guys, I don't know who Justin Tipping is. He did not direct this film. I don't believe it for a second. Justin Tipping had no creative control over this film. And I say that with 100%.
I think if you look it up too, prior to this film, I think he's only made like
He only has 4 films under his belt.
yeah,
And whatever these are, I've never even heard of these films, but no one has ever watched them. I'm so sorry if you're watching this. I hope you're not. But anyway, I have absolute certainty in my mind that Justin Tipping did not direct this film. Jordan Peele was a executive producer, whatever. Jordan Peele directed this film because Jordan Peele's style is all over this movie.
it says Justin
everywhere.
It says Justin, but like yeah, Jordan's fingerprints all over this thing.
It's everywhere, bro.
So let's talk about this film. So this film is about a kid who, growing up, he idolized the fictional character called Isaiah White, who was played by Marlon Wayans, and then he just grows up because his dad just wanted him to be like, I want him. I want you to be him. I want you to be that guy.
Who am I? Him. Who am I?
So like he just grows up trying to just be this player, this quarterback, and he does well. He's projected to be the first pick and everything, and then he gets attacked by a fan. You find out it's not the fan, but whatever. He doesn't do well in the combine because he has a concussion, but he still tries to work it out. But then he gets the opportunity from Justin White, the team that the Saviors, that they give him an opportunity. Hey, why don't you come to our training camps, train with you, and see if we can get you a contract. So basically, they're just like, hey, like we want to groom you to be the next guy because Isaiah White, the quarterback in this universe, which by the way, they portray him as like this GOAT, this greatest quarterback ever. How do you know he's great? Because he has 8 championships. One more than Tom Brady. That's how you know they wanted you to emphasize
Only one.
how good he is. He's like, no, he is one more better than Tom
Only
Brady.
one.
Nobody's better than Tom Brady.
Oh, of course.
But anyways, so he's training with him, and okay, so I guess there's only 2 things I enjoyed about this. Well, there's a handful of things I enjoyed about this film. The first thing is I do like that it does explore the concept of football culture in the sense of, yeah, there's that side of football culture where people take it so serious, and yeah, from if you don't really know about football to an outside perspective, yeah, football like fans can look like a cult in a way, like the way they kind of portray, like you know how they're like outside this guy's place, like they're all like dressed up. It looks like a cult, but I'm like, you think it's a cult, but I'm like, no, like this is literally like
That's just fans, bro.
Bro, like you go to any tailgating party, like pregame, you see guys like that, and I'm like, and that's just the world that football has. Now, let's talk about Isaiah White for a second. Marlon Wayans' character. So, my concern about this, Marlon Wayans himself is acting wise, he's acting very well in this film. And don't get me wrong, I love Marlon Wayans as an actor. My favorite film he's ever made is actually called The Sixth Man. If you've seen The Sixth Man, let me know, because not a lot of people have seen that film. It's a great film. Because I feel like a lot of times when they think of Marlon Wayans, like there was a time when like they would just kind of always kind of be him and his brother, but like he can do a lot of good things by him, like a lot of good things by himself. Now this film, it's acted well, but it doesn't show what's going on. So here's what I mean by that. So in this universe, he's portrayed as this GOAT of like, yo, like this GOAT. He knows he's the GOAT. He talks about it like he is the GOAT. Again, for those who don't know what a GOAT is, greatest of all time. For those who don't know that concept of football, or it's just sports. So the whole time he's just talking about like, oh, like being the greatest is not easy. Like when you go to the top, like it's a struggle. There's sacrifices. There's this, and he's just trying to show the rookie, like, hey, like this is what you got to do. This is what it means. This is what that and that and that. Matter of fact, my favorite lesson that he gives him is, you know, the scene where like they're like in his personal field And then like there's that scene where like, they put this guy in front of the machine that just shoots out the football, and every time he throws a ball and somebody drops it, like it hits the guy in his face, bah, bah. So then like once the rookie starts seeing the concept, he's like, yo, step up, step up. Every time they miss it, bah, 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 bah. And then like he's getting mad because like they're dropping the ball and like the guy's getting hurt. He doesn't want him to get hurt. And then at the end, like Isaiah White, he just goes to him. He's like, oh, like the lesson here is just that everything is your fault. And they, as a quarterback, everything will always be your fault. If you do good, it will be because of you. If you fail, it's because of you. And I saw that. I'm like, I think that's why I put a whole star. I got a star just by that scene. Because, yeah, it's true. Like, how many times in football, like, yes, it's a team sport, but how many times if a team does bad, we blame the quarterback.
Everything always falls on the quarterback.
If the team does good, we praise the quarterback. Again, Dolphins are struggling. We're all blaming Tua.
I'm one of them. Yeah, I agree.
But here's my thing, though. Like, so the way he's talking about himself as a football player, like I think he's his goal. It's just talking, though. We don't see it. So yeah, Marlon Wayans is just saying like, oh, like I'm this, I'm that, and that. But like, he's supposed to be this amazing quarterback. We don't see him. We do not ever see him throw
not one
football.
Not one clip. Not one piece
one
of
clip
film.
of him throwing a football.
Nothing.
You see him in the uniform, but you don't see him in action. So it's one of those things. It's like, okay, like, yeah, you can keep saying that you're this, and this, but like, you're not showing me why. I'm just supposed to take your word for it.
Yeah.
And then the way it ends, it's kind of weird because then you find out the whole thing of like, oh, like it was a setup from the beginning, which I feel like I'll let you explain that better than me. But like, I just the ending was just kind of weird to me because then you kind of find out, it's like a cult and whatever. And yeah, like it's weird because this film is something else.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, so I will preface by saying that, similar to The Conjuring, I feel like the trailers in this were really good leading up to it, but I feel like they were also a little bit clickbait, in my opinion. They led you into thinking that you were going to get one thing, and you kind of left with getting something else, which in some ways it's good, in some ways it's bad. I'll explain why further. I thought this movie was going to be a little more culty than what it portrayed itself to be, and it wasn't. I was thinking more of like Midsummer kind of cult vibes, but that wasn't what it was. It was kind of more like a basic cult thing. I know that sounds weird to say basic cult, but I've seen a lot of cult movies, so I kind of understand what cult means and like what's basic and what's not. Anyway,
Joey knows about cults, guys.
Yeah. So I am not affiliated with any cults, by the way. I'm not. So yeah, I thought it was gonna be more culty, but it didn't end up being that way. I will say, I think that this movie was very well shot. Very, very good cinematography on this one. Not even just like the way that like it was filmed. There were some really good scenes in this movie. There were a lot of good graphics in this movie. My wife is a graphic designer, so I've been kind of like exposed to like the graphic world and typography and all that stuff. There were some really, really good graphics in this film, and I was like, wow, this was really good. I agree with Elias on how it really portrayed football culture very, very well. I thought like that's one of the things that because I went to watch this with my wife, I thought that I was telling her, I was like, this is really good at portraying like what football culture really is. So I did appreciate that. I did think they kind of took it to a little bit of an extreme in some areas, but I still think that they kind of hit it right on the nose. I will say though, the best part of the movie is the end portion of it. And for me, like the whole movie in and of itself is good overall, but I feel like that ending really is what made the movie for me. And the reason why I say that is because the movie really starts picking up, and just for spoilers, this is what happens. The movie really starts picking up when the main character, I forget what his name is now, but the main character walks into this room and Isaiah White is sitting in the chair and then they're talking about whatever. And then that's when Isaiah White reveals that that this whole thing is based off of like blood. And what I mean by blood is like they've had this this quarterback sacrifice ritual that the blood from the very first quarterback gets passed down to each quarterback, and then they have a quarterback for like 20 years, 10, 15 years, whatever, and then that blood just gets transferred from the first quarterback all the way down to the next quarterback that they have. And the way that the next quarterback gets brought in is you kind of have to like fight to the death between the current quarterback and the new one that's coming in, and whoever wins is going to be the quarterback for the next 20 years, whatever the case may be. So I thought that was really cool how they kind of tied that all in together, and how like he was kind of training him up to be this, but in reality he was just trying to like get him to be this certain way when they were going to go one-on-one.
You think and that's another thing too. Like it's like you think that was his plan the whole time, because because at the beginning of the film they keep talking about oh, we don't know if Isaiah's gonna come back for another season.
Yeah.
So you think that if like the whole time they had him there, they say, okay, we're gonna train you, we're gonna set you up, and then if you survive, then yeah, you'll replace me. If not, then I have to stick around a little bit longer until there's an actual replacement,
like worthy replacement. Yeah, I think that there was an element of jealousy on his end that kind of sparked that kind of like devious planning, like, you know, maybe I am going to do something to kind of like try to get my way. Even though I will say I do think that from a story perspective, they really heavily like made it seem like the younger guy was going to win and take his spot. It was kind of obvious that was going to happen. If Isaiah White would have beat him, that would have been very surprising. But I do think there was an element of jealousy on Isaiah White's end, and I think that's why like he was trying to set him up for something. But yeah, the ending was probably the best part of the movie, and that's when you find out that after he beats Isaiah White, he walks out of the tunnel, and that's where like the cult of the team is, and they're like, okay, so you're gonna sign away your life for the next 20 years, and you'll be the quarterback for, funny enough, the Saviors is what the football team is called. I don't know. Anyway, there was a lot of actually Christian symbolism in the movie, but I do think it's because Jordan Peele kind of grew up in that demographic. Don't quote me on that. I think he did. That's why there was a lot of like symbolism with that. But whatever. He walks out. He has the papers in front of him. Oh, just sign the papers and you'll be the quarterback for the next 20 years. But instead of signing the papers, he starts to like question, like, okay, but like, why is this happening? Why are you doing this way? And that's when they reveal that his father, that died when he was young, planned this whole thing out for him so that he wouldn't ever have to worry about not ever getting to the league or not being the football star that his dad wanted him to be. So his dad kind of like made sure that this happened, and it kind of like when I heard that, my mouth dropped. I was literally like facial expression, jaw to the floor. I was like, bro, tremendo plot twist. Like,
matter of fact, do you think him dying was part of the plan? Because think about this for a second. Think about this for a second.
Yeah.
They were, remember, he said it too, like in the interview, he was like, there was my dad made me push through football to the point where I hated it, and I told him I'm going to stop doing football.
Yeah.
And then he dies. And then after that, like, he started doing it again. And where he is now, like, he worked harder was because of his dad. So do you think that everything was like predestined? Do you think like you have to die so that he can kind of get that spark,
he can get motivation for it,
and then he can keep going?
Yeah, I do think that was a factor. They actually portray it. So when this character comes back home, and he's in his mom's house. They portray it as if the father was like this Navy soldier, and he died in battle because they had a picture of him like in a Navy suit. Oh, he was born this day and died this day, or whatever. So they made it seem as if that's how he died. But I do think that the cult had some kind of like involvement in his death, just considering the fact that it was very shady and it was very like your dad is the one that did all this for you and whatever. So I think after they revealed that, it made me think like, you know what? I think that his dad probably died because of them. But that plot twist was just so like, wow. Like I haven't had a good plot twist like that in a while. So that's kind of why I really like enjoyed the film on my end. And, you know, just to go into the ratings, for me, I gave this one a 3.5 out of 5. So I gave it the same rating as The Conjuring, but I will say this movie is better than The Conjuring, in my opinion. Just because I feel like it was better shot, the story was better, the ending was better in all ways. But to talk more about this one, I feel like this this is why I don't really understand why the scores on the Rotten Tomato were so low, because I genuinely liked it. Like, if it was me, like I would have probably thought it would be like a 70% maybe for at least the audience, or the popcorn meter, because I enjoyed it. Were there certain elements that I didn't like about the movie? Yes, of course. That's why it's not like a 4 or 4.5. But I still think, like, man, that ending is what really made the movie for me. Did you have to go through the whole entire movie to get there? Yes, you did. But I would say that the ending was pretty cool and it was worth it. But overall, it was a pretty decent film. So I would give it a 3.5.
2 stars. Just 2 stars. There's nothing. There's nothing else I can add to it.
No explanation.
No explanation. Just 2 stars. Again, Marlon Wayans is done. He's acting very well in this film.
Yeah.
He's doing very well.
Yeah.
But again, you're telling me these things, but you're not showing me these things.
Yeah.
2 stars.
2 stars. That's okay. So that would bring him to an official Popcorn and Parables rating of 5.5 out of 10. So, what would you say? Would you say that this is better than The Conjuring, or would you say The Conjuring is better?
If I had to choose to watch one again, why are you making me make this decision? I would probably watch The Conjuring again.
Well,
I wouldn't mind watching The Conjuring again.
So, yeah.
Just because this one, again, it's weird. It's weird. Like, I get it. Like, again.
Notice how he said, if I had to. Meaning that I wouldn't make the choice to watch it again. But it makes sense, though. Like, you gave The Conjuring a higher rating, so it makes sense as to why you would watch that one.
Like, if we were, like, in a group, we're hanging out with the group and everything.
What movie should we watch, guys?
Can we just watch one of these two? I'm not going to say anything, but then,
Fine,
like,
The Conjuring.
if they told me, like, hey, we need a tiebreaker. Elias, you have to pick one. I guess The Conjuring.
Yeah.
I'm not excited.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be excited about it.
Fine.
But it's like, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, fine.
All right. I would choose him, but it's fine. It's okay. So, we're at our final movie.
Yes.
Our final movie review for the month of September is going to be One Battle After Another. I feel like I need to preface by saying this. I was not interested in watching this film. I saw all the trailers for it as we were watching other movies, and I'm here like, eh. The only reason why I did watch it is because Elias wanted to watch it. So I'm like, well, if he wants to watch it, then I'm going to watch it.
Okay, hold on. So you're saying, I feel like the word wanted is a very strong word to say, that I wanted to see this film. I just want to say.
I'll let you take over.
Okay, so I just want to, give the numbers first, and then I'll talk.
Okay. So, one battle after another. This film released on September 26th of 2025.
Still fresh.
The budget for this film is $130 million. Now, as Elias said, this is still a fresh movie. By the time we're recording this movie is only like 4 days old. So the money amounts for this film are still kind of coming in because it's still like opening weekend kind of. So these numbers are going to be based off of opening weekend. So again, the budget was $130 million. The gross amount for U.S. and Canada was $22 million. Global is $48 million. Now again, this is this is opening weekend. So whether that goes up or down or it stays, we'll figure it out. We'll find out. Me personally, I don't think it's gonna go over budget, but that's just me. Now, Rotten Tomatoes scores. I'm also very surprised by these scores as well. So, the tomato meter is the highest of all the movies that we've rated so far. 96%.
Get out of here.
That's really high. I don't think it deserves that. But that's just me. Sorry. Now, the popcorn meter is at 85%.
It's still high.
That's still too high for me. I'm like, I don't think this movie deserves that much of a rating.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'll just start off. So let me just get this. So you mentioned I wanted to see this. Want is a very strong word. The reason why I saw this film, because again, as a stub holder, a listener, it does not affect me if I watch this or not. Because again,
this movie was free, bro.
It was free. I get 4 free movies a week.
Come on.
So, yes, I wouldn't pay for this film, but again, because I'm a stub holder, I'm like, you know what? Let me catch it, just for review purposes. I went to go do it for, again, I saw this for almost like work reasons, work purposes.
Work purposes.
Like, okay, because sometimes, yes, there's movies that you can agree. There's movies that we review that we're going to like, but also movies that we're not going to like that we have to watch.
Right.
So this is how I feel about this film. Yes. There was a lot of trailers for this film. None of them caught my attention. None of these trailers gave me the idea of like, hey, let me go watch this. The only reason why I saw this film was Leonardo DiCaprio's in it.
It's got Leo, bro.
It's got Leo. He usually doesn't pick bad movies.
No.
So I'm like, if you pick this, let's see what it's about. So to start off, this film is 2 hours and 45 minutes long. And if you add trailers, this movie is basically a 3-hour sit-in. I remember when I saw this film like 2 days ago, I literally had to go on an empty stomach and everything because I'm like, okay, I can't get up in mid-film. So like I didn't eat, I didn't even buy nothing, like nachos, nothing. I'm just going to sit here and just watch it. And it's a I don't know. So this film is interesting in itself. So basically the plot of the film is just you get these group of what would you call them? Rebels. Let's call them rebels.
They were called the French 75?
The French 75.
Yeah.
So basically there's these people that just do a lot of like resistance stuff. Like, oh, we're going to release these people. We're going to release immigrants. We're going to go blow this up. We're going to go do this. And then after that, like, again, the sins of the past comes back to haunt them 16 years later. And now they're just being hunted down or whatever. So, this film, I feel like I didn't start enjoying it until like 25 minutes later. And here's why. So, the film starts with this character. I forgot what her name was, but let's just call her the mother. The mother
I'll figure it out.
of the child. It focuses on her a lot, and her just kind of doing her like rebellious things. And yeah, there's so much like she's
Her name is Perfidia.
Perfidia. So the film starts with Perfidia. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but
Perfidia Beverly Hills, by the way, is her full name. My same reaction. Why?
that's not a real name. Anyways, Perfidia starts the film, and again, she's just doing all these like, oh, we're gonna go do rebellious things. We're gonna go free these people. This and this, and then DiCaprio's character is just there as they call him the Rocket Man. He's a rocket explosive specialist. So they're just there doing their thing, and then again they're together. Then they have they assume they have a child, but then you find out other things. So while you're doing that, while she's doing all that, there's this army guy who is played by Sean Penn, who for some reason has a weird fascination for her, like very weird. And basically, he's just like, hey, like, I'll let you blow up buildings and stuff if you just, no other way of saying it, just give me booty. Like, there's no other way of saying it. Like, there's no other way of saying it. That's what he's asking for.
That's the PG-13 way of saying it.
Yes, that is the PG-13 way of saying it.
This movie is not PG-13, by the way.
It's not. But then like she just kind of becomes so into this world that DiCaprio and her have a kid, and then he's just kind of like, hey, like we don't need to do this anymore. We have a child to worry about. But she's like, no, I want to keep doing these things. She gets caught by the police, and then for her to be the military guy, he tells her, hey, like, so if you want to be safe, like, just snitch on everybody that was on your platoon, like your team. And she snitches. And you see all the people, like, get iced out, like, one at a time, just murdered. Not even arrested, murdered. They kill everybody, except for DiCaprio and the daughter. They just get fake IDs, and they just they just drive off, and they start a new life in a whole nother state. Now, and then she kind of eventually just kind of, like, she's also in the witness protection program or whatever. And then she just, you know what, screw this. She just escapes that. And then we never see her again. Mm-hmm. And it sounds crazy, but like the movie gets good once this character's gone.
Absolute 100% agree.
Like, what was her name again? Hillbilly? What was her name again? Perfidia. Once she's gone, like that's when I'm like, okay, she's gone. Now the movie's gonna get good because I just don't like this character. Like the way she just is, like as a character, she just kind of sucks. Because it's like you don't care about your family, like you don't care about your kid, you don't care about your significant other, because she doesn't really even fight the whole basically she kind of cheats on him, but she doesn't really care about it
in a way,
because the army guy's like, hey, hey, I'll let you blow up stuff, just come to me or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's kind of whatever about it. She don't care. And then, even then, like, she disappears. And, yeah, the whole time in the film, I'm like, oh my God, like, she's gone. Cool. But then, as the movie progresses, like, you're like, oh, like, is she going to come? Like, when's she going to reappear? And she doesn't reappear. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Because the movie is good. It starts getting good when the focus is only solely on 3 characters in particular. It's good when it's mainly on Leonardo DiCaprio, because Leonardo DiCaprio, again, by himself. I feel like he can make any script sound good. Mm-hmm. He is good in this film. The daughter is also very good in this film. The Kung Fu Hispanic.
Mm-hmm. Sensei.
Yeah, Sensei. What's his name?
Sensei Sergio.
No, but like his real name, like something Del Toro.
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro. He's good in this film.
Yeah.
So like, and then it becomes like a whole story of like, oh hey, the military guy is now trying to hunt them down because he's trying to run for a position, but then they're like trying to ask him questions like, "Hey, so like, have you ever done any shady things in your life?" So then he's just trying to kind of, I guess, correct his wrongs and erase them because then he starts suspecting that the daughter that DiCaprio's raising is actually his daughter. Yeah, yeah. So then he's just trying to hunt her down just to find that out, and then if it's true, just to kind of get rid of her. Basically, he's trying to just erase his corrupted ways.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it does feel like a Taken film, but it's not a Taken film because yeah, DiCaprio his character he is. I love how his character is because yeah, he's not good. Like in the sense of like he doesn't know kung fu, he doesn't know how to fight, he doesn't know this. Like because so in the 16 years that he's been away from all of this, like he said, like all he's doing is just smoking and drinking. So his mind is just like fried. He doesn't even remember none of their codes or anything like that because they use secret codes to kind of communicate with each other. He doesn't know none of those things. Even when he has a gun, he doesn't even really even use it.
No.
Matter of fact, he uses it one time and he misses.
Mm-hmm.
But like again, he's not really smart in this film. But I think what's great about him is his heart of how much he's just trying to go get his daughter. He's trying to go find his daughter. And Sean Penn in this film is after that. Sean Penn, he's weird in this film, but it's also good. Like the way he's acting, is like the way he's acting is done very well.
Yeah.
The overall, I think the film is good. Once what's her name again?
Perfidia.
Once Perfidia's gone, like once Perfidia's gone, it's like okay, that's when the movie starts getting good. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Like it's not a bad film, but I don't think it's a film that I would personally rewatch. Even if like I was in a function of like, hey guys, let's go watch this film, I'll just go home.
Yeah, I'm not going.
Yeah. All right, guys,
I'm gonna go home, guys.
go watch Perfidia, do Perfidia things. I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
But what did you think of it?
I think the biggest part that I took away from this movie is, and listen, I'm gonna say this right now, and I want this to be clipped when it actually happens next year. Okay. Do not be surprised if this movie wins an Oscar.
How?
I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying don't be surprised. Because this film is literally, I'm fully convinced that this was just made so that this could win an Oscar. That's all that it was made for. Because it has Leo, it has all of these actors that are big in the Hollywood industry and all this stuff. And I fully believe that this will probably win. Am I going to vote for it? Absolutely not. None of us are voting for that movie. No one is voting for that movie. But these people will. The Academy will.
This movie will not win an Oscar as long as F1 still exists.
I will vote for F1. That's hands down, 100%. But I will say, if it wins, don't be surprised. And clip this for when it does win. Anyway.
And if it does win, it'll be because of DiCaprio, not because of... What's your name again?
Well, the actual actor's name is... where is it? Tiana Taylor.
Tiana Taylor.
Good actor. Good
Tiana,
actor.
there's nothing against you. Again, you do very
great
well.
actor. It's just
I just see
Perfidia.
the script you were given for this Beverly Hillbilly person was not good, but that's not on you. It's a script.
Sorry.
They wrote you this way.
Yeah. We're from Popcorn and Parables. We're sorry you had to go through that. But so I also want to bring this up. I think that they ripped off the movie poster from Killers of the Flower Moon. If in editing we can put a poster of One Battle After Another and Killers of the Flower Moon, compare the pair and see the similarities in these posters. Both have Leo in it. He's in both films. So it's funny how they both look similar.
Yeah.
Just saying. I think another thing that I also got from this, before I even talk about the film itself, these are just things that I noticed. I think Paul Thomas Anderson, which is the dude who directed the movie, I don't know why, and you can agree with me on this or not. I think he was trying to replicate a Martin Scorsese type of film, just from the way that it was shot, different parts of the story. I feel like he was trying to emulate like some like Italian American mobster movie,
Yes.
and I'm like, I don't like that because this is not that.
So this is where a lot of people have this in so there's a lot of like people have this inception that because a movie is long, it's gonna be good.
Right.
But again, I feel like this is one of those movies where, example, like The Godfather is pretty long. Um, Goodfellas is very long. The Irishman is very long, but
3
you don't,
hours.
but you don't feel it though because it's good. This one you feel its runtime.
Yep. Yeah, and that's that's also one of its biggest letdowns as well. Is you definitely feel the length of it in that first like 30 minutes. I fully agree with Elias on that. Where the first 30 minutes of it, where Perfidia is running amok and doing what she does, are all in those first 30 minutes. And the moment that she's out of the movie, that's when it starts to get good.
It feels like you get peace and quiet.
Yeah, like you finally start to understand the movie and where they're coming from. And I will say, I also agree with Elias that why, like, they took that character out of the movie to not bring her back. I will say, though, Elias is happy she didn't come back.
I didn't want her to come back.
I'm happy she didn't come back, but at the same time, I'm also like, why didn't she come back? Like, for the sake of the story, like, it almost felt like she needed to. And there were certain moments where I was like, okay, she's going to come back now. Right now. In this scene, she's going to come back. She never did. So for me, it was just kind of like a letdown, in my opinion. Again, did I want her to come back? No. Keep her away from the movie in all sorts and forms and costs, because this movie was way better when she got out of it. Okay, this was a much better film when she wasn't in it. But again, like, it just felt like they were leading up to that, and it never happened. All we got was a letter and a voiceover. And that's all we got. And I'm like, bro, that is such a letdown.
That's all I needed, to be honest. I didn't want Perfidia to come back.
I guess I'll take it because that's like the closest thing we're gonna get to that. But yeah, guys, this movie was very strange. I don't think I wasted my time watching it. I think that after that first 30 minutes, that's when it starts to pick up, and it turns into a good movie at that point. Like, you really start to get invested into what's going on. I was really invested like after that first 30 minutes, and then the story starts to pick up and all that stuff. But overall, like, just that first 30 minutes really just didn't sit right with me, and it very heavily contributed to the rating that I gave it, which was a 3.5 out of 5. I think that that's more than graceful, in my opinion. I don't think this is anywhere near a 4. I think, honestly, I don't want to spoil your rating, but I think your rating is more on par with what it actually is. I just gave it that extra rating just because I think that last portion of the movie, like after the first 30 minutes, was actually enjoyable and good. It's just that first 30 minutes just didn't really do it for me. And then also, they didn't bring that character back. So, Perfidia, they didn't bring her back. So that kind of left that like in the air. So I didn't enjoy that. I think overall, would I ever watch this movie again? I'm good. But, Elias.
3 stars. I took off a whole star because of the 20 minutes of Perfidia, and I added a whole star because the 2 hours with we did not get Perfidia.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
And DiCaprio himself is getting. DiCaprio himself is he's just doing good things in this film.
He did a really good job.
Yeah.
I will say he did a good job.
Again, it sounds like I hate this film, but it's a good film. It's not a film that I wouldn't rewatch it, but I do see the concept and I do see the idea behind it. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like if this gets Oscar buzz, like I wouldn't surprise if like DiCaprio gets nominated for this. But realistically, I feel like there's other films right now that could have been better. Again, F1.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, yeah. So 3.5 and 3. That brings our official Popcorn and Parables rating to 6.5 out of 10 for One Battle After Another. So with that being said, that brings all of the ratings combined for the month of September to a 6.5 out of 10. So what does that tell us? That basically means that September was under par, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was a little underwhelming, not as good of a month for films as you would want it to be. Were there some good ones? Yeah. I would say that The Long Walk was the best film out of
Easily.
all of these movies.
Easily.
I think every movie had potential to be great, but I think only one of them hit that mark, which was The Long Walk. But 6.5 out of 10, and that's September. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, just like you said, like I don't think it was as good as August and July. But I don't know. I do see a lot of good things coming in October. So hopefully in October that number will increase by a lot. But yeah, I think that's all I have for it. And then just regarding these films, um, from a what do you think from a I guess a Christian standpoint, what would you say each film are these films that you can enjoy or avoid? So I'll start first just with our four films. So like The Conjuring itself, um, if you're a person that just again doesn't feel comfortable with paranoia and things like that, this is something then again if you feel that personal conviction, I would avoid it. If not,
Yeah.
again, it's a goofy family film at the end of the day. It's an R-rated Ghostbusters film.
Great way to put it.
The Long Walk, I don't think there's any convictions there. It's just like you are going to see people getting shot
Yeah.
in the head.
It is very graphic.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Him is going to have some, I don't think it does have some symbolisms that maybe you might feel uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
Again, if you find kind of the concept of cults and those type of visuals kind of make you feel weird, then again, I would skip this one. Honestly, and then the last one, if you just,
I wouldn't watch it.
I would just say,
Not even from a Christian standpoint. I'm just like, don't go watch it.
yeah, just if you, honestly, if you're just a fan of DiCaprio and you want to see him do something else,
Sure,
go
bro.
ahead. Just fast forward 20 minutes
Yeah.
in when the hillbilly person's gone.
Yeah. I fully agree with everything you said. I think for sure the Conjuring is definitely based off of personal conviction. I know a lot of people in the Christian community look at the Conjuring and they're like, oh, demons, oh, they can attack me through the screen, oh, I'm gonna get possessed, oh. Guys, we are covered by the blood and there's nothing that can separate us from the love of God, so we're fine. But we also want to respect personal conviction. So again, like Elias said, if your personal conviction is that you're not okay with like fictional demonic characters and things, don't go watch it for the sake of not wanting you to stumble. If it's not your conviction, I still wouldn't recommend to watch it because it wasn't that good. But that's just me. I think the same for The Long Walk as well. I think the only thing about it is just like that graphicness of like those characters getting killed off. But I think that added more to the movie than it took away from it. The same thing for him. There was a portion of it where it kind of like had some unnecessary like not like sexual content, but it was like alluding to sexual activity. So when that part happened, I was with my wife, so you can imagine how awkward it was. I kind of was like, oh, look at the ceiling. Wow, this is cool. But
Look at the rugs on the wall. Wow. Have they always been this color?
Look at how there's anyway. Yeah. For him, I would. It was cool. If you want to see it, go ahead. And One Battle After Another, again, just I wouldn't watch it. But But yeah, so with that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in to our September review. If you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications. Leave us a comment down below for any video suggestions, any topics you guys want us to talk about, any specific movie reviews or movie trailers, or any topics you guys want us to do. Go ahead and leave that down in the comments. And with that being said, my name is Joey.
I'm the world heavyweight champion, Elias.
Thank you for tuning in to Popcorn and Parables. Have a blessed day.